Hey, thoughtful girls, welcome back to our channel. Your support helps us reach our goals to spread awareness about mental health and psychology. So thank you for your support. Now, let's get to the video. Sometimes making friends can be hard. Have you ever been through this scenario? You start your first class. It's the first day back to school, a new semester, a new schedule, new people. Anything can happen. The student you sit next to might become your next best friend. The possibilities for friendship are endless. That's what you think on your first day. The next day, hope is still there. It lasts through the week, maybe the month, but soon you notice your hope is fading. Because you don't seem to make an impression on anyone and you start wondering, does anyone like me? Don't worry, the odds are. Others just haven't gotten to know you yet, and what makes you great, because we all have something that makes us great to someone out there. You might just need to develop some charming behaviors and habits that get others to notice you. Want to learn what those great qualities are? To help you become an even greater person, here are some subtle behaviors that can make others like you. Hey, you might even find you like yourself a bit more. Number 1, call them by their name. No, don't call me by your name, call them by theirs, although that would be a great movie. Have you ever felt happy when someone called your name? Maybe someone at a party mentioned you, and instead of saying, "Hey you," they said, "Hey, your name." We love our names so much we can even recognize our own name when said by someone in a crowd or a noisy party. This selective form of attention is related to the cocktail party effect. When in a crowd or a noisy room, we can tune into a specific conversation we choose. More importantly, if our name is said nearby, even if we're focused on another conversation, we instantly perk up and realize someone is talking about us. Think about that. It not only makes you pay more attention when someone says your name, but it also makes you feel better knowing they actually cared enough to remember it. Try remembering the name of each individual when you meet them and think of a related image to help you remember. Number 2, give sincere compliments when they cross your mind. Everyone likes compliments, and we can usually tell when they're genuine. Next time you meet someone and notice something you like about them, don't hesitate to tell them. It's best to let others know the great things about them. You'd want to know if someone appreciated you. When we speak positively about others, people associate the traits we use to describe them with us. This happens when we talk about someone to others. It's called spontaneous trait transference, and it occurs when communicators are perceived to possess the traits they ascribe to others, according to some studies published in the journal Personality and Social Psychology. Researchers found that when we describe someone as having a certain trait to others, those others associate us with the described traits. So it won't hurt to give a compliment to someone you just met, like your lab partner Derek, who always aces the quizzes, or the student sitting next to you with great fashion sense. What's her name again? You should remember. Oh yeah, Susie. Go ahead and tell them their outfit looks great, and even tell your lab partner Derek that Susie really has great fashion sense. He might even associate that compliment with how awesome you are in the process. I'm sure they'll love hearing nice things about themselves. You have nothing to lose. Number 3, spend more time with them. Want a secret to get someone to like you? Try spending time with them. This doesn't necessarily mean asking them out immediately if it doesn't feel quite right or natural. But it can mean sitting with them at lunch, or maybe you want a coworker to like you get to know them by chatting over a quick coffee. It never hurts to try. It's best to socialize with others as a habit if you want to make friends. According to psychologist R.B. Zayance's research, the mere exposure effect is a psychological phenomenon where people tend to like someone or something simply because they are familiar with them. When a person is repeatedly exposed to a certain stimulus, they develop familiarity with it and therefore grow to like its presence. That's why some products and advertisements are repeatedly shown during the commercial breaks of your favorite shows. The more familiar you are with something, the more you'll start to notice it. And if they refuse when you invite them out, well, that's definitely their loss. Number 4, you don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing. You might think you have to appear perfect to attract others your way. How could others like you if you don't ace every test? How could they admire you if you don't look ultra fashionable every day? Props to Susie, though. How would people know you if you don't have perfect vocabulary? Hate to break it to you, really want to share this with you, but people don't actually care that much. Though you might think otherwise, people see this as the so-called terrifying, distant, or unattainable perfection. Yeah, I know even imperfection is good enough. In fact, people often find others' imperfections wonderful and even cherish those rare so-called flaws. They're more attractive. In one study, researcher Elliot Aronson rated fake contestants based on their attractiveness. The contestants did well on a trivial or poor test. Imperfection, some contestants acted clumsy and spilled coffee at the end of their interview. After their scores were revealed, people rated those who spilled coffee at the end of their interview highest on the attractiveness scale, meaning people want to see you as smart and capable, but not perfect. The research states that a superior person might be seen as godlike and thus distant. An average person tends to humanize them and thus increase their attractiveness. Poor contestants, trivial contestants, and even excellent contestants were rated lower than the outstanding contestant who scored well and spilled coffee at the end. Others might feel threatened if you become perfect and make no mistakes. They want to see that you're human. But when you show you're capable and still relatable as a flawed human, people tend to like you more. Number 5. Look on the bright side. You know that in any group there are always people who have the nicest and most positive things to say. Have you ever felt the glow of happiness and peace when you're around them? They hardly ever complain, and when they do, it's only for something really important. Like, there's a hair in my taco salad or something like that. They seem to emit a light, positive energy that draws others toward them. Why can't you do the same? A research paper from the University of Hawaii and Ohio State University shows that many individuals can unconsciously pick up your mood just by being near you. Seems fair, right? So if you display positive emotions, others are likely to mimic your happy facial expressions and gestures, making them more likely to feel those positive emotions around you and want to be near you more. That means if you keep trying to focus on what makes you happy in front of others, they will enjoy your company and eventually like you. All you have to do is make it a habit to look on the bright side of a situation instead of the negative. Because others like to be near a happy person, and if you can find the light in any dark situation, isn't that something to celebrate? Number 6. You actively listen and let others talk about themselves. When we try to jump into a conversation and interrupt someone with our own thoughts on topics, it can backfire. Although we like talking about ourselves, it's important to recognize that others also want to talk about themselves. That means if you let them speak, they might like you a bit more. Harvard researchers found that spending time talking about oneself can have its rewards. In one of 5 studies, subjects sat in an fMRI machine and had to answer questions about their own opinions on various topics. Brain regions related to reward and motivation were most active when speaking about their own thoughts on a topic as opposed to talking about others. In fact, the need to talk about oneself is very strong. In another study conducted by Harvard researchers, some participants even refused money just to talk more about themselves, as the research article states. Self-disclosure is closely linked to increased activation in brain regions forming the mesolimbic dopamine system, including the nucleus accumbens and the ventral tegmental area. Furthermore, individuals are willing to pay to reveal about themselves, so go ahead and let your company talk about themselves for a while. They will enjoy their time with you more and increase dopamine levels as long as you make sure to listen and not nod off. It's a habit worth practicing. Next time when you realize you've been talking a bit too much, try to remind yourself that the other person also really wants to express their opinions. They might also have something interesting to say. So how do you think you're ready to start practicing these behaviors, hoping they become a natural habit? Maybe you already have some of these habits. Try applying them and see if you make new friends, and remember to let us know in the comments what happened. And if you've made friends with anyone using these habits, you're not alone. Susie and Derek are practicing too, and now they're best friends. They're very outgoing, fashionable, and smart, but also clumsy with coffee. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with someone who might need a friend. Reach out to them with this video, and you could develop a friendship that will stand the test of time. Subscribe to Psych and click the notification bell for more content like this. As always, thank you for watching.